Jordan was kind enough to respond this morning. Hey, I was off for the holiday, and we talked about the schedule. I'm like, hey, November 8th or 15th, whatever it was, we have open. He's like, I'll do tonight. It's all good. So thank you so much, Jordan, for being flexible and accommodating us, and literally the day of being on the training with us tonight, because a lot has changed with Mosaic since last time you were with us, and last time even we were together in Texas. And so I'm really, really glad that you're able to chime on. So I'll go ahead and pass it off to you, Jordan, and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anthony. Yeah, a lot has changed, mostly for the better. A few crazy things happening in the world. And that, unfortunately, is what I want to spend a little time talking about today. So give me just a second here, everybody. Let me get everything squared away. So for those of you who I did not get to meet the first time, my name is Jordan Torres. I'm a senior strategic account manager here at Mosaic. I've been with Mosaic for about a year and a half now. Prior to that, I actually retired pretty early in life. I sold solar and had a lot of success with it, had a lot of fun with it. But I sold all over the country. And I bring that up because I think it's important to know who you're working with, right? Again, being a former rep, I always like to know who the heck I was bugging, who I was calling. It was just nice to know. So as we work together, should you ever reach out to me, should anything come up, or just as I take you through this training tonight, just don't worry, right? You're talking to someone and someone is speaking to you that has done exactly what you guys do. I know how hard it is, but I know how rewarding it is at the same time. But all that being said, intros all done here. I want to jump into talking about APRs. It's no secret that there has been a lot changing. Just last week during your conference, right, during Powur's entire massive presentation that was streamed all over the place, I was lucky enough to go to Carlsbad and be in the office when it was happening, but there were a lot of lenders talking, and there's very good reason for that. And Jonathan Budd spent a lot of time talking about APRs, and it's because there's a lot happening in the world, and it's all kind of just now catching up and hitting everyone in the bank, right? All at the same time. And I want to talk about why that's happening so that you have this ammunition to take into the home or to take onto your Zoom calls to help sell solar, but feel confident in what you're selling at the same time, because that's incredibly important. If you're not confident in what you're doing, if you don't have your shoulders back when you're selling, you're already at a disadvantage. Okay. So that's why we're going to go through this tonight. The couple things I want to jump through: inflation. Obviously, we're going to go through that. We're going to talk about what's going on, but specifically what's causing it, and the Federal Reserve and how that plays a part in all of this. We're going to talk about utility companies, our real common enemy, right? Who we're still trying to beat. We're going to talk about different types of consumer loans. What are your homeowners comparing you to? And then lastly, we'll round it out with looking at some Mosaic products. So it's spoiler alert, breaking news. Rates are going up everywhere. You've seen it. Doesn't matter what news station you watch. One news station says this guy is the reason. The other news stations say this guy's the reason. But in reality, it was kind of a perfect storm. And I hate saying that because it is very cliche, but it's very, very true. We had the global pandemic, right? And that caused supply and manufacturing disruptions. No one could get into a factory to manufacture products of any kind. Well, in addition to that, the entire world was home, stuck in their houses. And what do people do when they're stuck and they're bored? They spend money. They order things. So we had record low, truly historic low supply chain, just supply in general. We had incredibly low supply, but the demand was also at a world time and history time high. So incredibly high demand, super, super, super low supply. That creates a lot of problems. And so the Federal Reserve and the Treasury Department, the biggest bigwigs when it comes to the finance world, put their heads together and they had to make a decision. Are we going to fight inflation by lowering interest rates? Or do we want to fight recession by raising interest rates and slowing the flow of money down? Ultimately, that's what they decided to do, and in my opinion, made the right decision. So believe it or not, despite what the news tells you and what you read when you see these rates raising, that's actually a very calculated formula. And they very much have their fingers on the pulse, and they're doing all of this to help fight recession, because that is the real scare that they're wanting to stave off, right? And so how do they go about doing that? Well, it's through the Federal Reserve. And for those of you who may not know, the Federal Reserve is what supplies the money to the banks every single night. Every single night, Chase, Wells Fargo, all these banks pull money from the Federal Reserve. Well, as the federal rate has gone up, now the banks are borrowing that money from the Federal Reserve every night at a much higher rate. The banks then pass those costs along to the consumers. This is felt in Amazon. This is felt with your produce. This is felt with everything from your tech to solar. Okay, Mosaic is not immune to this, nor is Sunlight, nor is Goodleap, nor is anyone. We all have to accommodate for this rising market to stay green, right? Just like you guys. So that's what's happening on a nightly basis. And that's what's causing, at least on a big scale, right? Big picture, that's what's causing everything to move forward. Now, this slide is actually a month and a half old. Okay. I just realized that as we pulled this up, it's a month and a half old. But even still, a month and a half ago, a 30-year fixed rate was 5.94%. And this is on a mortgage, guys. This is what your homeowners will compare the solar rates to, because as consumers, we are taught that housing and mortgage rates are the best rates you can get because they're so secure. And that's pretty much the truth, right? There's a reason we all think that. And so if your homeowners are seeing 5.94s, now they're seeing 6.87s, okay, on a 30-year fixed, and you're coming in with a 299 or a 399, you look like a superhero. Okay. Again, this is a month and a half old. There is no more 4s and 5s on this page. Should we update it now? Okay. It is so scary how high the mortgage rates are and how low the solar is. So it was bound to have a course correction. Now, if you look at mortgage rates by state from earlier this summer, even earlier, this is back in July, look how high the rates were then. And they've only kept rising, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind. This is what your homeowner is going to compare you to. So if you come in with the 299, 399, again, guys, don't put yourself in a box. Don't get in your own way. Realize that you are selling them something that is going to benefit them drastically and offering it to them at a rate that's 2, 3, 4 points below what they were expecting. Okay. Now, as far as mortgage rates over a 30-year span, take a look at how high they were back in the 80s. So if you are selling to a homeowner that's maybe on the older side, they're going to laugh at all of these rates because their mortgage rates was as high as 18%. Okay. So they remember that. But all of that to say, look how low it got in 2020. That's when we were selling the 0.99s, right? It was bound to rebound. Okay. I love that phrase. It's bound to rebound. Okay. It was always going to have a course correction. We were at historic lows. So it was only a matter of time before the pendulum swung back the other way and kind of leveled out and found our median. All right. One last thing, as far as outside of the solar world, look at auto rates. Okay. Auto rates, same thing. Homeowners know auto rates, just like you know auto rates. We all do. Okay. Because if you're not shopping for a car, you just bought a car, right? So 7.93% as a best case scenario, right? And you're freaking out over a 299. Again, don't get in your own way, guys. Do not get in your own way. Okay. Utility companies. This is who we're truly competing against, right? No one can compete with Powur, but really we're all competing with the utility companies. So year over year, we've seen a 13.4% rise in costs, and that's nationwide. That's scary stuff. That's scary stuff. Let's let Victoria in here. There we go. So that's crazy stuff, right? 13.4% increase year over year. And it's important to know that because as crazy as all these rate increases look like, right? It's so easy to live in the moment and live inside the solar bubble, but take a step back and realize this is going up everywhere. And it's going up even faster with your main enemy and your main competition. And as the rates have gone up, so is the usage, right? People working from home, the electrification of our everyday lives, usage is going up as well. So the utility bills are at an all-time high, guys. Again, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Go into that home confident. You're still selling an amazing product. So in summary, the cost of capital is increasing, yes, because of the federal rates, but solar is still better compared to other consumer products across the board. Again, think of those mortgage rates and auto loans, right? We're 3-4% below those. And then as far as utility prices go, we're seeing those at an all-time high, a lifetime high, with the demand also increasing. So those utility bills that you're walking into, that you're competing against, they stand no chance against you. All right. The value of solar is even more pronounced today than it ever has been. And competition, as far as other lenders go, they're raising their rates far more, and they're having to raise their rates far more often than Mosaic. Yes, we've had to raise our rates a few times. There's a few other lenders having to really get those new rates out constantly to stay afloat. Mosaic is trying to stay ahead of the curve when we raise our rates, okay, so that we don't have to bombard you every 30 days with new rate cards, okay? Now, I want to look at a couple different loans really quick. This is a 20-year 149 on the left and a 20-year 349 on the right. Now, I want to look at worst case scenario, right? And not use the tax credit at all, because you can never assume it. And also it shows the most unflattering light, right? Just to be brutally honest here. So look at the loan amount on the left and loan amount on the right, right? $3,500 roughly difference. It's pretty good. When you're in a competitive market and you're competing with other solar companies, $3,500 difference can win you some business. Now, as you look down on those monthly payments, yes, there's a difference, but this is also, again, without the tax credit. Without the tax credit, it's less than $20 of a difference between the two products. You apply that tax credit and shrink the numbers, it's $8 difference. An $8 difference. Most homeowners, we know this because we see the whole life of the loan, right? This is our world now, Mosaic's world. We see that most homeowners pay their system off in 7 years or less. I don't know if all of you guys knew that. That's your homeowners included. Most homeowners are actually paying their system off in less than 7 years to beat that interest. Again, even in a worst case scenario with this loan and paying the highest payment possible, look at the difference over 7 years. 16 grand versus 17 grand. They've paid $1,000 more. That's it. Worst case scenario. So I know it's the theme of the night and I've said it a million times. Don't get in your own way, guys. Be confident with what you're selling. We're still in a great market. And even if things increased dramatically, we still have so far to go before we even catch mortgage rates, right? So things are looking really good for us right now. Okay, so I want to pause there, okay? We're going to stop really, really quickly. And I want to take any questions that anyone may have about what we just covered before we dive into anything else. Any questions over that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
So my first tier 2 cash deal, they were looking at your Mosaic product because they were advised by their CPA that they'd be paying a lot of taxes if they were to pay cash. What they couldn't understand is obviously the federal tax wasn't applied, but he just couldn't fathom that the total loan amount would be this amount without the federal tax applied. And then it obviously had the dealer fees and all of that. And he just couldn't get it around his head. He's like, I'm just going to pay cash. So I think that was generally literally the day that the interest rates went up as well. And I was trying to ring Mosaic and I said, can you somehow make the documents look like the federal tax is applied? I don't know you know, I'm not sure what to say, but anyway, we've made it into cash at the end of the deal there.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, at least you saved your deal, right? That's part of being a salesperson, is being water, being fluid, being adaptable, and you were. And that's great. You pivoted to cash, you closed the deal. That's perfectly fine. What I would say, and I'm sure Anthony and Bo would take you and pull you aside and talk about this as well, is that the tax credit, you're never going to see any loan docs, period, whether it's us, Sunlight, a million different, you could pull anyone. No one is going to put on paper that the tax credit is guaranteed. And I know you're not asking that, but on paper, if we were to apply it, that is technically what we're doing. We're technically at that point signing documents that say, this is what's going to happen, Mr. Homeowner. We can't do that because we don't know your homeowner's tax appetite. And we would be in a whole heck of a lot of trouble should your homeowner then say, well, why is my rate then going up if I didn't get the tax credit? I signed paperwork that said it was. So I understand where you're coming from totally. And that's where I would then lean on your proposal tool and your calculators and your loan calculators and show them. The Mosaic loan calculator, which we're about to go over, is a great tool in that. I would just sit there with him 20 minutes if you needed to, just nothing but this calculator until he gets it.
Okay.
Yeah. It is not the easiest conversation. I totally understand, but just the better you grasp it, the more confident you are with it, that translates. The homeowner will pick up on that and be that much more confident in the conversation because you're confident on it. So if we need to connect offline, I'm totally fine with that. And we can spend some time talking about it.
Yeah, I do have another deal. Which he had a good couple of questions as well that, I'll ask you about after.
Perfect. Yeah, we will definitely connect. Okay. Any other questions on what we just covered before we shift gears a little bit? All right. Going once, going twice, sold. So now, if everyone just bears with me, because I got to reshape this little share my screen icon, we're going to talk about the Mosaic portal. So some of you on this call probably have already had some experience with it. Others may not have even realized you had access to it or have logged into it. And that's totally fine either way. If you have not logged into it and you're tier 2 or higher, or you just didn't realize you had access to it and you are tier 2 or higher, please connect with finance@powur.com. That's Emily Budd's email, and she will set up access for you. More than likely you already have access. She'll just help you log in. Okay. But this is the Mosaic portal or back office. You'll hear it referred to as a bunch of different things, but essentially we're only using this for a couple different things. Okay. And that's going to be to send a pre-qualification link. Okay. In case Solo goes down or does the spinning wheel of death that we all hate. In case that happens, you're going to be able to send a pre-qualification link from the Mosaic portal. You will be able to send loan docs from the Mosaic portal, and you will be able to do change orders from the Mosaic portal. Those 3 things. Okay. Now I want to touch on sending a pre-qualification link. So let's say you just signed in, boom, this is your landing page. I'm set up as an admin, so I see every single op that Powur has pushed through. But for you guys, you're going to see your pipeline. You will see all of the customers that you've done through Mosaic, which is pretty cool. So it is a good pipeline management tool as well. But let's say you got the spinning wheel in Solo, you weren't able to do a pre-qualification, you just signed in. We're going to go up here in the top right corner to create opportunity. We're going to click on that, and it's going to take us here. You're going to fill out the information, first and last name, their phone number, email, and project address. After that, you simply select Spanish or English, right? And you save the opportunity. Okay. Quick little note. If you want, it's pretty self-explanatory, but it is important to know. If you want Spanish loan docs, you have to run the pre-qualification in Spanish. That is a law. Okay. It has to be the same language on the pre-qualification as well as the loan docs. Okay. So that's where you would select that. Then you would select save opportunity. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess anything up here because this is all live. All right, let's say we've got someone pre-qualified. Let's do this. Boom, we're going to use this guy right here. Sylvia, this lady rather. All right, Sylvia. Okay, so you created the opportunity and you emailed the pre-qualification link. Super easy because this is what it's going to look like. Actually, you know what? I take that back, guys. We updated this. I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. Apologies. Let's do this. This is what it will look like. Let's say you just created this op right here. This is what it will look like. You will see pre-qualification sent because when you save it, it automatically sends that pre-qualification. If you don't want to do it via email, maybe you're sitting right there with the homeowner. Check that out. Open pre-qualification on screen right there. It's that easy. You click that button, the pre-qualification opens up on your screen, your iPad, whatever it is. If they didn't get the email the first time or you need to resend it, just hit send reminder and that emails them the link again. All right, pretty straightforward so far. Now let's jump forward and take a look at approved, which would be pre-qualified. Now we'll go back to Sylvia. Okay, you've done the pre-qualification. They got approved. This is how you know right here. Yes, you get the email. Yes, the homeowner gets the email, but you can always double check in the portal right here in the status bar. Pre-qualification approved. If you need to know for how much they're approved for, simply scroll down. Here's all the products they're approved for. And right here, off to the far right-hand column, you'll see right here, Miss Sylvia, this customer was approved for $75,000. Okay, for all of our products, $75,000. Now, let's say we need to send loan docs, right? If you created this opportunity in our portal, you just skipped solo altogether because it was, acting funky. You will then naturally have to send the loan docs as well because we are outside of solo. It's not going to automatically happen, right? So for those of you who just missed that, we're going to go to system information and hit edit. All you have to do is select solar only or solar and battery or battery only, whatever you're doing. Let's say this one's solar only. You put in your loan amount. Let's say it's $50,000. You're going to put it in one more time to confirm it. And then you just select from this drop down under loan product. You select from this drop down the product that you're using. Let's say for this one, it's going to be the 25-year 299. In case you need help reading it, all the way right here under 25, that's where your information starts. 25 stands for the year, 299 is the APR, 30 is the tax credit percentage. So we're going to click this one. We're going to scroll all the way down here and we would then hit save. Okay, pretty straightforward. All we did was put in the loan amount and select the right loan. Now I'm going to back out of this because Sylvia is not my opportunity and I don't want to mess with whoever's opportunity that is. Now, let's say that's done. And actually, I don't think we'll be able to see any other, but essentially, now we could just use this one. Essentially, once you've saved that info, you will see it populate. You see? It populates 44,000 for this guy. He's using a 30-year 199. Okay, so this is an older op, but you see right there. If you need to send the loan docs again, because again, when you save it, it's going to send them. But if you need to send them again, you just hit send reminder and it emails the link again. One last little note on this page, guys, because again, this is a great pipeline management tool, is it always tells you on any opportunity, whether it's this one or any other op, in your status bar, it tells you when their pre-qualification expires. Okay, so if you had a approval and it's been sitting for a while, I would definitely come in here and double check to make sure it's not going to expire anytime soon. If it's close to being expired, reach out to your ops team to help you out. Okay, again, just trying to give you as many tools as possible. Now that's creating an op. That's doing all the fun stuff, right? Last thing is change order. I'm not going to click the button because it is going to mess with this op right here. We don't want to do that, but you would just hit create change order. And then it's going to take you to the edit system information screen that we just looked at, where you put in the loan amount twice and you select the right loan product. It's that easy. Creating a change order is just like when you have to send the loan docs. Put the loan amount in and make sure to select the right loan product. It's that easy. It's that easy. From there, same thing. You would hit send reminder to send those loan docs again. All right. Any questions on that?
Hey, Jordan, I don't have a question, but it's an important point to remember that when you do a change order, it's going to ask you for that home improvement job number. And so it's true, or isn't it? Is it true that we have to do the solar document before we sign the change order?
It's a good call out. That's a good call out. I'm going to show you exactly what he's talking about. That is not what we would consider. That's not what Mosaic calls a change order. That once it's hit funding, once it has hit the funding milestone and it'll say bill of lading approved, you can no longer do change orders. Okay. If you're seeing that you have to upload an HIC to do a change order, you've gone too far. That loan is funded. The only way to then do a change order is to reach out to Emily Budd or Jen via finance@powur.com, and they handle all of it for you. It's the easiest kind. They handle it all for you. They create the docs, they send it to the homeowner, they upload the HIC for you. So if you ever see that, just stop. So let me see if I can actually find one here. Probably not. I don't think it's going to let me see that. Not without messing anything up. Yeah, it's not going to let me. Essentially, if you see submit for approval, let me do this. Let me show you right here, or submit for review, rather. Let's say your customer has signed loan docs, everything's done, you're good. If you see submit for review, that's when you stop. Anything beyond that point, if it has reached any of these blocks, you need to stop. If there's anyone you don't want to make mad in this world, it is Emily Budd, let me tell you. All right. So if you see submit for review, do not touch it. Throw your hands up, pick up the phone, call Emily or email Emily, whatever you got to do. She will handle it for you. On a normal change order, you do not have to upload an HIC. Okay. Normal change order, you would hit this button. It looks just like edit system info. Super easy. Save it, email the docs. If it's past funding, okay, if you're down here somewhere, like countersigned or anywhere along in here, and you hit change order, you will see what Dana was referencing. You will see that it asks you to upload an HIC. If for some reason you get to that point, just stop what you're doing and email Emily. She will take care of it for you. That way you don't break anything and make Emily mad. You don't want to make her mad. But I'm glad you called that out, brother.
Jordan, hey man, just to clarify that. So I actually had just one of those last week where the wife was approved for a certain amount, but they needed more. So we added the husband and I had to do a change order. And this was before the loan documents were signed. When I did that change order, it required that HIC, which I had them, sign the HIC, and then I entered the HIC job number into the change order, and it went through.
So you're saying you hadn't even had loan docs signed? And
that's correct.
So it's in the system info when you're setting up the system info in the portal.
So it was asking for an HIC at system info. Let me jump back. Let's see.
Not HIC, but like contract ID number or something like that.
Yeah, contract ID.
Oh, I know what you're referencing.
Solar document. Yeah.
You don't have to mess with that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me do this. This is why we do these trainings, guys. This is a great question, and I'm really glad you brought this up. Let's use Muhammad here. Hit edit. This right here.
Yes, sir.
This we don't mess with. We don't mess with anything on this page except the loan amount. We put in twice to confirm it, and you select the right loan product, and that's it. You don't have to mess with monthly bills. You don't have to mess with panels. You definitely don't have to mess with this. This is meant for other partners that use the portal, other solar companies that use the portal. They do have to fill all this out. For you guys, as big of a company as you are and as well integrated as we are as two separate companies, we don't require you guys to have to mess with any of this. So I'm really glad you pointed this out. You guys don't have to mess with this at all. You just put in the loan amount twice, select the right loan, come all the way down here and hit save. That's it. So you do not have to have the HIC to upload. Great call out, man. Glad you brought that up. What else? What else?
Well, so
Yeah,
oh,
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
No, I was telling him I could have used this information probably 2 weeks ago because I did hear from Emily Buzz. So it's like, so actually, where you saying where it says submit for a review, I called Dana and I called Anthony, and I couldn't get hold of either one of them because I was kind of new to the portal, so I was trying to feel my way through it. But yeah, I actually did click on that, and I actually did upload the solar docs to that, and because it was prompting me, but I didn't know that we were done at that point, and that's what Emily did point out to me. She said, okay, she kind of slapped me on the wrist. She said it's no big deal, but just don't do it again. Basically, is what she was saying. But yeah, but I did upload that, and it kind of got me in trouble a little bit. But that's I had to learn the hard way. So everything now is excellent information, but I already stumbled all over this. So I'm an expert now, but it took me like 2 or 3 loans stumbling over them until I got it. So
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Alan, if anything, what Alan just referenced, right? We're not always, and thank you so much, Alan. That's really good feedback. What you just referenced is going to happen. There's going to be things we just covered that you forget. You're sitting with the homeowner, you're right? You're all excited because they said yes. You're going to forget a step or two. You're going to sit there and hit a button and it's not going to work. It's a great time to call me. Okay. I know that sounds crazy and contrary to popular belief, right? Where I say, let's be careful when we call me, but portal related issues, that is a great time to call me, especially when you're with that homeowner and you need quick resolution. Now, if you don't get a hold of me, if I'm on a flight, if I'm doing one of these trainings, I'm on the phone with someone else, it happens. I'm one person. The partner support line can help you through this process. They won't be able to do it for you, right? They can't do it all for you, but they will be able to, okay, yeah, Alan, you're stuck here. Yeah, absolutely. This is where we need to go. You need to fill this information out. They can help guide you through this as well. So you have resources and the knowledge base as well. They have some really good information uploaded into the knowledge base about the Mosaic portal, really in-depth guides. I really recommend you guys take a look at those because that's going to help as well. In case anything gets blurry or you forget, it's totally fine. You've got backup. Anthony.
That's funny you mentioned that because I did reach out to one of your, cohorts. And she did tell me that that's what they were waiting for, but she didn't tell me that I didn't need to do that. So they said, we do need the loans, the solar docs, was what she said, but I didn't know it was not my job to do that. But Emily said, that we got it from here. So just don't do it again. But I did reach out to someone. She just didn't clarify that it was me that I wasn't supposed to do that.
Gotcha. So, and that's a great segue into the fact that Powur and you guys, I kind of referenced it earlier, you guys, you have it easy. You have no idea compared to the other partners. Your finance team does a lot of this for you. You sell those deals and they handle a lot of the legwork. Most of our partners in that phone call, Alan, I totally believe that you were told that because 99.9% of all the solar companies we work with have to do just that. They have to submit, they have to upload, they have to do all this extra junk where you guys, you're special. You guys just get, connected with Emily or your PM or whoever is taking over the project for you to help move it forward. So Alan, apologies that you got a little miscommunication there due to Powur's customizations that you have. but 99% of the time you're going to be just fine. That little nuance, that might be a good time to call me, because chances are you're not in the home on that one. You can call me, you can call anyone else on this call to try and double check. But let's just all remember, if we see submit for review, stop. Submit for review means stop. All right, Anthony, you had a question earlier, man.
Well, I just had a comment. So, and this is the finance, their process. So when we do a change order, all we have to do on our end is get a home improvement contract signed and updated, right? We update it in Solo, update the numbers, system size, whatever needs to be updated, roof, whatever, send out the docs and get it signed. Once that's signed, when Emily and Jen come in the next morning, the first thing they're going through is they're looking for new signed contracts. And then they're looking for ones that are essentially change orders, right? They were already signed before, now they sign for more panels, re-roof, whatever. Once they see that, they automatically go to Mosaic and they get the new landing docs sent out for you. I ran into an issue where I kind of skipped a step and there was some wires crossed, and yeah, I had a conversation with Emily. So just trust the process, okay? And don't try to jump, ahead of the process. Definitely trust the process. But
Just keep it simple.
Yeah. So all we got to do on our end, hey, customer needs a roof, 15 grand. Okay, cool. Add it in Solo, send out the HIC, get that signed off, and Emily and Jen get it situated the following morning. If you don't hear anything that following morning, just get your DocuSign confirmation email that it's signed, forward it to finance at Powur. Hey guys, it's been 48 hours, 72 hours, whatever. Just, didn't want this to go unnoticed type thing. But trust them, let them do it.
Great call out, Anthony.
You will have a conversation with them.
Yeah. You don't want that. You don't want that. Both very sweet ladies, but you don't want to make them mad. Yeah, you should very rarely have to do change orders here. The only time, from my understanding, and Anthony, Bo, you guys jump in if I'm wrong here, the only time you would really need to come to the Mosaic portal to do a change order, like assuming Jen or Emily wouldn't do it for you, but really you would only ever have to come here and not Solo if you created the opportunity here. If it does not live in Solo and has not progressed at all in Solo, then you would have to do the change order here. But even then, I like Anthony's talk track and mindset of let's just reach out to finance at Powur to have them help us out. It's a good mindset to have. Okay. Any more questions on the portal or anything we've covered so far? About to jump ahead.
Another thing really quick too. Yeah. And I'm like you, I kind of messed up in the Solo thing because the docs didn't go through and I couldn't recreate them. So I had to create the opportunity in Mosaic. So, and then when I did a change order in Mosaic too, and it was really simple. Once you learn how to use you guys' portal, it's extremely simple. So, but like I said, but when you don't know anything, it's nothing simple when you don't know anything.
Of course.
But I did a change order in there and I did all of that. And it was pretty simple. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's pretty streamlined. I used it when I was a rep. It's really not too complicated, guys. I know I'm biased because I work for Mosaic, but again, I sold Mosaic as a rep. It's super easy to use, even in a home. It's very, very easy. Now, right. I wanted to touch on.
You?
Go ahead.
Have to reach you. You said give you a call, but I don't have your number.
That's okay. We're gonna go over all that at the end. Don't worry. Okay. I promise. I'll drop my contact number. So right here, next to opportunities, again, your landing page, that's your pipeline. Your opportunities is where everything lives as far as your customers are concerned. But if you click on Loan Wizard in the portal, that's where our solar calculator is, our loan calculator. This is a great tool to have. I know you have Solo and Solo is amazing, but sometimes it's just nice to just pop in here and look at what the payments are. I've heard that Solo acts a little funny sometimes as far as showing the payments. I've heard that. It's totally fine. You have this as a backup to verify what is that monthly payment going to be for Mr. or Mrs. Homeowner. Okay. This is a great tool to have. So the first thing is we need to click this box. I think it's goofy. I understand, but it's important nonetheless. If you open the Dropbox before clicking this, look what happens. All the APRs are funky, right? I don't know if a 524 or a 684 loan, those are all funky. Well, if you come down here, you have to click this box which says, I want to lower my interest rates by making auto pay. You click on the drop arrow again, boom, nice and pretty. All the loans that we recognize. So let's do the super popular ones. Let's do a 25-year 299 at 50K. All right. That's going to be a monthly payment of 171. And it even shows you the monthly payment after the reamortization. If they don't put any extra payment, if they don't use the tax credit at all, this is what their payment jumps up to. So right away, we show you both payments. But what's really cool is if you come down here in the bottom left, if you use this little drag bar and you put it on 30% tax credit, there's your 15K tax credit, monthly payment. Yeah, see, Mr. Customer, monthly payment stays 171, just like we discussed. You can see it right here in the calculator. And look, just by doing auto pay, you've saved almost $8 grand, right? That's pretty amazing. But what if they get local rebates? What if they were wanting to do $1,000 or $2,000 more than their tax credit, right? What if they want to, ball out and really beat some interest and they want to do 40%? Okay. You can see on the drag bar, as you hold it down, I'm holding it down right now. It shows you the dollar amount on top and the percentage on the bottom, which is really cool. So let's let that go. Boom. It's showing them what their monthly payment would be if they did extra payment. Okay. Saving another almost $1,000 on top of the previous 8. So really, really cool stuff. Very simple, not very complicated, but I always want to point this out because I used this like crazy. Okay. This right here, showing homeowners how to save even more, does not affect your commission in any way, right? But the homeowner is going to love that you're doing this extra, you're going through these extra steps for them. It's going to go a long way with them. That's how you get referrals, guys. That's how you get reoccurring business. Okay. You want to sell a lot of deals, close a lot of deals, retire at 27 years old like I did. It's referrals, 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 referrals. And this is how you do it. Okay. So that being said, I want to jump over last thing I promised, and then we'll just do a little more Q&A. The contact card. I told you I'd share a contact card. Oh, I don't know why that did that. Let me do this. Drew a giant square on my contact card. All right, the contact card, we're going to scrap that idea. I'm just going to text you my number because contact card is acting funky and doesn't want to share. So we're going to skip the contact card. God, I love technology. It's wonderful stuff. I'm putting in the chat my contact. There's my number. There's my email. I will be honest, I check my number far, far, far more often, or I check my phone rather, far more often than my email, because those of you who've reached out to me know I travel a lot. Okay. I do a lot of partner visits. I go and see people. So I'm always on planes, always running through airports. So email is not the easiest. If it's urgent, please text me. Don't call me, text me. That's going to be the fastest way for me to see what's going on and be able to help you as fast as possible. Okay. So please text me if you're going to reach out. In addition, all of this is in the knowledge base too, guys, but just in case. And then we're going to do Mosaic. That is Mosaic's partner support line. Okay, so that's our 1-800 number. I definitely recommend starting there before reaching out to me. Don't get me wrong. I love you. I can't wait to help you. And I want to get you guys paid, but I'm one man. All right. I'm one man that doesn't work weekends and I don't speak Spanish. All right. So I'm a little limited on what I can do. So definitely go to partner support first and then come to me for escalations. I'd be happy to help. But that being said, that is all I've got. I want to open the floor to you guys. What questions do you have? I know we already took a few, but what else? What else can I help with?
So we've been doing a lot of Spanish contracts lately, and obviously we want the HIC to be Spanish, and we want the finance to be Spanish. But utilizing kind of Powur's process or solo process, right? Obviously we present the proposal in solo, and they have this great proposal tool, and it's beautiful and everything. And then, oh, hey, let's click right here and click qualify, right? And it's very easy, obviously, to qualify. But once we run credit in solo, it kind of makes it in the Mosaic portal for us automatically, right? And there's great integration there going on and all that good stuff. But once it makes it, to have it switch to Spanish, what I'm finding myself having to do is call Mosaic, give them the information. Can you switch it to Spanish before I send docs? And I assume they click a button on their end. I'm unable to do it once the opportunity is created and approved in the portal directly from Solo. Is there any way that process can be fixed or worked on?
I would immediately, if you have a Spanish speaker,
Okay.
absolutely, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, give me 1 second. Open the Mosaic portal, skip Solo altogether, because you're basically creating a whole extra mile you have to run in your marathon. Just jump straight into the portal, create the op yourself, select Spanish as your and then you're sending the pre-qualification email to them or doing it on screen, whichever you choose, in Spanish. It's right there. It's done. Now your entire project is in Spanish. You don't have to pick up the phone at all.
Okay, and I will say this: there are times where, like, you call Mosaic, the partner support, and within 30 seconds you get a hold of someone, right?
Yeah.
So, but then there are other times where, you're on hold for 10 minutes, whatever, given the time of day, whatever. But 9 times out of 10, it is really quick. But with that, is there, if we're doing a Zoom, is there an issue with running credit on my monitor directly from the portal?
It's not encouraged, but I understand. We'll just say that it's not encouraged by Mosaic to click all those boxes and sign for your homeowner to do the pre-qualification. But I understand. If that's something you need to do, that it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. Cool. That's all I got. That's all the little, because we've been selling the heck out of your product. So,
Nice.
Yeah, just a couple of things that I've seen or I noticed or whatever.
Appreciate it. No, great call outs, brother. Great call out. What else, guys? I know I want to respect everyone's time, but I don't want to jump off if we still have questions.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk to if you got any questions.
Anthony, you got a shy group today, man. Shy group. That's okay. You've got my number, everyone. Please reach out. Again, I'm just one man, so if I don't respond right away, don't take it personally. I'm probably doing a million other things. But thank you all so much, and I look forward to helping you all out.
Awesome. Appreciate your time, Jordan. Appreciate it being last minute. You accommodating us. That's awesome. And appreciate everyone for chiming in. And we'll see you guys next week. It will be Dana. He will be going over a few things. He's been crushing it. So whatever he says will be gold. So that'll be next week. So awesome. See you guys later.
Take care. Have a good night.
Appreciate you guys.
No, thanks, dude.